A 10,000-pound elephant can be held in place by a simple rope. Not because the rope is strong, but because the elephant believes it is. And if that sounds impossible, stay with this story, because it may quietly change the way you see your own limits. A man was once walking through an elephant camp when something deeply unsettling caught his eye. These were enormous, powerful animals, creatures strong enough to uproot trees, to break through walls, to walk freely wherever they chose. Yet each elephant stood still. All of them were tied by a thin rope wrapped around a single front leg attached to a small wooden stake in the ground. No chains, no fences, no cages, just a rope. The man stopped walking. He watched closely, expecting movement, a pull, a struggle, an attempt to escape. But the elephants didn't even try. They stood quietly, calm, resigned. Confused, the man approached the trainer and asked, "I don't understand. Why do these elephants stay here? They could break free at any moment." The trainer looked at the elephants, then back at the man, and smiled gently. "No chains, no fences, no cages. When these elephants were very young," the trainer said, "we tied them with the same kind of rope. At that age, they were small, weak. The rope was enough to stop them. They pulled, they struggled, they tried again and again to break free, but each time they failed. So eventually, they stopped trying." The trainer paused. They grew older, they grew stronger, but something else stayed the same: the belief. They remembered the feeling of failure. They remembered the moment they learned, "I cannot escape." And now, the trainer continued softly, they don't even test the rope. Not because they can't break it, but because they are certain it will hold them. They don't know their own strength anymore. The man looked at the elephants again. But now, he wasn't just seeing animals. He was seeing a quiet tragedy. These magnificent creatures were not prisoners of a rope. They were prisoners of a memory, a belief formed long ago, a story they never questioned again. The elephant was no longer held by the rope. It was held by a sentence repeating in its mind: "I tried before. I failed. I cannot do this." And because it believed that story, it stopped trying. My friend, how many ropes are holding you right now? Not physical ropes, but invisible ones. Old words spoken to you. Past failures you never released. Moments when you tried, fell short, and quietly decided what you were capable of. Years may have passed, but the belief stayed. So you remain where you are. Not because you lack strength, but because you stopped testing it. Here is what the elephant never learned. You are not who you were back then. You have grown. You have changed. You have become stronger. The rope that once held you cannot hold you now, unless you keep believing it can.
Today, take a quiet moment. Look at the ropes in your life, the fears, the limits, the old stories you keep telling yourself. And ask gently, is this rope still real? Or am I simply afraid to pull? You have the strength. You always did. And when you are ready, you can walk away. If this story resonated with you, subscribe and join Stories That Awaken. Here, we don't shout. We don't rush. We simply tell stories that help you remember who you really are.